From this to this to this again, how to win at the maintenance phase. Hey babes, welcome or welcome back. If this is your first time seeing me, my name is Dacia and I help you take a mindful approach to wellness. If you feel like you struggle with unhealthy habits, constantly starting over, or emotional eating, I help you understand why, as well as help you create habits, patterns, and mindset shifts to shape your overall well-being. If that sounds like something that you may need, let this be your soft place to land. And don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below and let me know what you would like to see more of. I would love to chat with you. Okay, so let's get into this video and talk about what they don't tell you after losing the weight. I'm going to share with you 8 proven ways to make sure that the weight loss sticks for good. And make sure you keep watching until the end this time. All right. Let's get into it. Okay, so everybody talks about losing weight, but nobody tells you what happens after the scale finally moves, right? So let's talk about life after weight loss, because maintenance is a whole different ballgame. And I'm going to share with you 8 of the biggest lessons that I've learned after losing 30 pounds, not once, not twice, but about 3-4 times. Okay, so if you're on your journey, almost at your goal weight, or already there and finding yourself slipping, this video is for you. So if you've watched any of my previous videos, and like I said just a moment ago, I've lost over 30 pounds a number of times in my life. I've done the cardio, I've tracked the macros, I've worn the cute gym outfits, I've taken the weight loss medications, I've done the cleanses, the crash diets, the popular diets. I've done it all. Watch the scale drop only to watch it go right back up again. I've celebrated weight loss wins and then 6 months later found myself right back at square one. I've fallen off, gotten discouraged, and bounced back, but then I went through the loop again and again. But the truth is, if you haven't really realized it by now, weight loss is a science. And it's not a one size fits all. And it definitely doesn't end when you hit your goal weight, speaking from experience. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. So like I said, the goal weight is not the end. Hitting your goal weight feels absolutely amazing every single time that you do it. But it's not that happily ever after that you really thought it would be. You still are going to face the cravings, you still are going to face emotional eating, and you still are going to have your own habits if you don't check them. The same triggers are still there, and sometimes they're even stronger than ever. So one of the biggest keys is your mindset has to change, not just your body. I cannot stress this enough. You can do all the things, like I said, and still end up right back where you were because your mindset and your habits did not move at all. Weight loss without mindset work is like trying to paint over a crack in the wall. You might look different, probably mad snatched, but if your beliefs, your relationship with food, and your self-image hasn't shifted, you're still gonna feel stuck. And let me be the one to tell you, body image issues don't magically disappear. In fact, sometimes they get much louder after the weight is gone. And honestly, I still deal with this sometimes. Let's revisit the point that maintenance is harder than losing. You know how if you ever bought something new and you finally get this thing that you've been saving for, such as like a house, nobody really ever tells you the background behind the maintenance of having a house. You know what I'm saying? The same thing goes with weight loss. No one really warns you that maintenance can feel a bit lonely. The compliments stop, the excitement fades, and now it's just you and your habits, whether they may be good or bad. There's less external motivation because all of that slows down because why, you've reached your goal weight. And then comes in a lot more personal accountability. In addition to that, let's take a mini science break and talk about the set point theory. As someone who has lost the same 30 to 40 to 50 pounds almost 3 to 4 times over my lifespan, the set point theory played a huge part in my weight loss journeys, and I wasn't really aware of them until later on down the line. So let's talk about it. The set point theory says that your body has a comfortable weight range that it likes to stay at. And when you go below that, your body can resist. It can do this through slowing your metabolism, increasing your cravings, and actually storing more fat. Trifling, right? because how dare you after we put in all that work, right? I always noticed that my body would love to go back to 180 pounds quick. So if my body personally loved being 180 pounds, even if I wanted to weigh 150, it would fight to go back to that safe zone. So eventually I had to learn how to make that fat loss stick. And here's how I did it. One of the most important points is to lose the weight slowly. So all of you people that want to drink this flat belly tea and throw on a weight trainer, it's not gonna work. Quick fixes backfire, like all the time. It's really important that you aim for at least a half a pound to 1 pound a week. That's a safe and comfortable weight loss range. A small calorie deficit is better than slashing calories. Your goal shouldn't be just to lose fat, it should also be to build trust with your body. If you start slashing those calories, it's almost like you're stealing from your body. And then your body's going to start hoarding what it has because it don't trust you. So it's important to, number two, avoid yo-yo dieting, which I've also struggled with. Don't tell nobody though. So every time you go on a diet and rebound, your body gets even better at storing fat. Understand that you never necessarily lose your fat cells, they just shrink. So they still have that same memory of how large they were before, and they love going back to that previous size. Instead, it's really important to try to commit to a new way of living. You have to adapt a new lifestyle and commit to it, not just a temporary fix. This third point may seem a little contradictory to the whole point of losing weight, but you might not be eating enough. If you drop your calories down to 1,200 calories and you're eating a salad, 2 protein shakes, and a popsicle, baby, you hungry. You need to eat more, and specifically more protein and fiber, because these are two of the things that'll keep you fuller for longer. Undereating tends to trigger survival mode for your body. And like I said, your body will tend to hold on to whatever it can because it feels like things are scarce. You have to actually fuel your body with whole foods, good foods, things that give it nutrients and energy to carry out its bodily processes so that it can trust that you're not going to starve it of what it needs. This fourth point is something that I also took a little time to learn in my weight loss journeys, and that was strength training needs to be included. You can't just do cardio alone. I mentioned in a previous video that if you just consistently do cardio and don't strength train, you'll end up burning off muscle, and you need muscle to help to build your metabolism and burn more calories over time. So if you don't have muscle, you're essentially becoming skinny fat. It's important to focus on strengthening your body and your muscles. So progressively overloading or strength training at least 3 to 4 times a week to help build your muscle mass and therefore help to build and make your metabolism a little bit faster. Cardio is very important for heart health, and I'm not saying exclude it, but maybe lessen the amount of cardio that you do and start to add in or increase the amount of strength training that you do. So maybe a 20-minute walk or a 20-minute Stairmaster or 20 minutes on the elliptical, and maybe about 25 to 30 minutes of strength training 3 to 4 times a week. Use that cardio for heart health and recovery, not to punish your body and hurry up and get all of the fat off. This fifth one is prioritize sleep and stress management. Me, as a night shift nurse, child, I am a permanently exhausted pigeon. There's always room for more sleep. I do get sleep, but sometimes it's usually no more than 6 hours, or my sleep can end up kind of broken in the middle of the night. And we all know trying to sleep during day, I take an L every time. But it's necessary for your body to rest and recover. And without sleep, weight loss is going to be very difficult. And besides, poor sleep and stress spikes your cortisol and increases your hunger hormones. So again, try to get between 7 and 9 hours of sleep, good quality sleep each night, if you can, and try to do and build more daily habits to calm your nervous system, such as journaling, breath work, prayer, and movement, such as walking and getting that vitamin D, get outside. All of that helps reduce stress naturally. Here's the big one that I touched on before in all of my videos. You have to be consistent. So number 6 is you need to maintain these habits for at least 6 months. You didn't gain this weight in 2 weeks. I don't know why you think you're about to lose it in 2 weeks. No, you've been doing this for years. So you got to change your habits and your mindset. And then you have to stay that way. for a while. Your body needs time to adjust to a new weight. It needs to find its equilibrium again or return to homeostasis in a sense. So don't lose the weight and then rush back to old eating habits, being at happy hour every week, getting your wings, your liquor, your biscuits, the bread basket. No, you gotta keep these same habits that got you to where you are in this new body. So once you hit your new goal, maintain it slowly. Increase your calories gradually and focus on consistency because you can't stay in this calorie deficit forever and you can't be on a diet for the rest of your life. Number 7, focus on non-scale victories. Remember, muscle weighs more than fat, but it ends up taking up less space. So those old jeans that couldn't fit before, try them on now. They may fit looser. They may be able to zip up when you couldn't zip them up before. Those are all wins, and it shows your progress without just depending on that number on the scale. That scale is just a tool. It's not the whole picture. Track your energy, your strength, how your clothes fit, your mood, your digestion, your confidence, how your skin glows. Celebrate the wins that the scale doesn't show. And honestly, I feel are sometimes way more beneficial. And number 8, heal your relationship with food and your body. I have another video on my channel about healing your relationship with food, emotional eating, or overeating. But this is such a big point because, again, if you don't change the habits that got you in that body in the first place, you'll end up right back in it in 6 months tops. Number 1 thing, stop labeling food as good or bad. You can eat anything you want, but just in moderation. It's important to let go of the all or nothing mindset because that's not how life works. Eat mindfully, honor your hunger and fullness, and enjoy the process. This is not about perfection. It's about having peace with how you feel about your eating habits, your body, and food in general. And another point that I want to make, I guess you can call this number 9, and I feel a lot of people don't talk about this when it comes to weight loss, changing your habits, your mindset, or your body for the long haul, is your environment. And I want to expand on this in another video series that I have coming up. But I feel like the people that you're around, the environments that you stay in, the places that you go to, all of that has an effect on how successful you may be with losing weight and maintaining the weight loss. Just to let you in, I grew up being told I eat too much, I'm too fat, I'm never going to be liked because I'm so big. All of those things have been embedded in my mind, and that became my negative take. So it's no surprise that I ended up going right back to the person that I was always told that I was. And even being around other individuals who don't honor a healthy lifestyle, who have never eaten healthily a day in their life. Like I said, me being from Baltimore, we ate honey buns and chicken boxes, drank half and halves. Nobody was saying anything about avocados, egg whites, salads, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So imagine coming from 4 years of being at university, living on my own, creating these new habits, learning to love my new life, and then having to come right back to the same environment that I left 4 years earlier that had these negative mindsets or had these restrictive mindsets or weren't as aware of how food can help you and nourish your body. It was only a very like live to eat type of mentality. So coming back home and everyone seeing my weight loss and seeing the new way that I ate and lived my life, it was very off-putting for them. And it was very much something that I valued. But most times that you'll realize, sometimes that negativity can overpower the positivity if you don't really have a strong mindset or aren't in a position where you can maintain certain things on your own. And eventually, I succumbed to the,
why you eating that? You too small. You look sick. Are you on drugs?
Who eats that? You better eat this sub. You gonna be hungry. You look like a stick.
think about your environment. Think about the people that you hang with and just know that if this is something that you want to continue to do or be around, that you have to want this for yourself. And you have to want it for yourself enough to shut out all of the other noise. I cannot stress this enough. So if you find yourself constantly falling into this trap and you have covered all of these 8 steps and you feel like you've been doing so good, it might be time to check your environment and the people that are around you and kind of cleanse your space in your area or become more aligned with what you really want for your future self. Okay, so let's get back on track. So I also wanted to add, your metabolism isn't broken, it's adaptive. I don't ever really want you to think that your body is working against you, because your body's main goal is to always protect you. But over time, you can retrain it with consistency, kindness, and strength. Just remember, your body is always waiting to feel safe again, and you have to gradually let it know that this new environment and these new habits are your way of protecting it as well. Remember, your body has to catch up with your new identity. And like I mentioned before, you can't be the dieting version of yourself forever. Ask yourself and really commit to, who am I? And where do I want to be? And what routines, values, and environments match the life that I want to live? Remember, motivation is just the spark. Habits are what keep the fire going. And systems save you when life starts lifing. The hustle may fade, but your habits will always hold you down. So it's important for you to begin eating like the weight is already lost, or continue eating like the weight needs to stay off. Eat like someone who respects their body. And like I said in a previous video, once you start really taking account and becoming more aware of your eating habits and seeing other people's eating habits, or even comparing your current eating habits to your past eating habits, you'll start to really get a sense of pride of how you're investing in yourself. Because you'll not only see it on your plate, you'll see it in your life, your life's choices, as well as eventually your body. And like I said, as a result, when you take survey of your environment, you might realize your circle may change. And that's okay. Because if you're coming into the person that you really want to be, it's only right that you end up in circles that accept who you truly are. Don't expect friends and family to understand the new you. You might face subtle sabotage, passive comments, even envy, because you'll realize when you take this journey that not everybody has the self-control or discipline or desire to better themselves. Always stay grounded in your why. So let's recap and reflect. So first things first, it's not just about losing weight, it's about keeping it off, because that's the true win. So that means changing your habits, healing, and gaining more self-respect. Your body isn't the enemy, it's just learning to trust you. And setbacks, they're absolutely normal. You may fall into some emotional eating. You may not be able to get the same types of foods this month that you were able to get last month. There may be a family emergency, a death in the family, a loss of a job, illness, anything may happen. But what matters is how you bounce back. The journey doesn't end, it just evolves. And give yourself grace, because when things happen, you'll need to refer back to yourself as your own personal rock and someone that you can trust to use those habits that you built to get back on track. So if you've ever lost weight and gained it back, just like little old me has about 4 times, you're not alone and you're not doing anything wrong. You just may need to make some adjustments. Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear what you've learned or what you're still struggling with, and maybe we can work it out together. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more videos like this. Real talk, backed by science, and made for people who are actually trying to heal, not just lose. If you're on this journey, I want to walk it with you. So on that note, thank you so much for watching until the end. Turn up. And if you enjoyed this video, again, let me know in the comments. And as always, you got this, babes. Bye.